Hello, today I will be installing this Vicrez steering wheel. It's carbon fiber and blue. It's LED display. Also, I have CCH Customs. These are custom painted Ingo Mango gear paddle shifters. I will be installing that also during the install of the Vicrez carbon fiber steering wheel. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're at the back of the trunk. You just lift this flap up. You'll find the battery here. All you're going to do is use a 10 ml socket and disconnect this off of here. Give a good 15 minutes or so for all the modules and everything electronic in your car to lose its power, just to be on the safe side. And then we'll move on to taking the airbag out. And on each side we'll be putting in a screwdriver to pop it out, the spring for this to pop out. I got that famous 2 pins off on each side. What I used was just a simple Allen key. But whenever you're reaching in there, at first you think you're reaching in that far. You're not. It's only about this distance. And you're going to catch something that feels like a piece of metal going across. And you're pushing it, but what's happening is it keeps sliding off. Once you get on it steady, use 2 hands and push, 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 and it unlatches. It'll unclip. What's doing that and causing all your headaches, if I can show here, let's see, it is, sorry, it goes in between here. I just gotta take a look here. If I show you, it should make it easier for you to get to it. Okay, there it is. All right, see that metal right there? What you're doing, sorry, let's get in there, good. So what you're doing is pretend you're going through the hole. Sorry, I'm trying to place the Allen key in the right spot. And what you're doing is you're pushing on that. Just that little pin. Hard to see. But it's right there. Right there. So if you get the feel and the look of this pushing down, you know what I mean. So you're pushing there. And that pushes down. Sorry. See? So right there, it's going up and down. See it moving? So that's why it's so hard to get to it. But the distance is that length. All right, so give that a try. Don't try this far because you're past it. So here's a better example. Whenever you're pushing through the hole, you're kind of pushing up into this guide here. And then see, you're pushing on that pin. See how hard it is here just to do it, and that you can't see. But there, it's pushing up and down. That's what's going on there. Okay? Don't give up. You just go through the hole. And like I said, it's only that distance. Short distance. Not all the way in. You're past it. Now that we completed pushing those 2 metal springs and we're able to get the middle airbag out, the next thing is to take off these 3 wires. Just use a little, just a small screwdriver or a little pick, and you're going to pop these up on these 3 spots, and this is going to disconnect your airbag from it. Now, whenever you pull up on that after the orange pin is off, you'll just pull this out. And it'll come out just like that. You may have to pry a little bit. See how it's loosening? Actually, I almost have it there. I could probably pull a little more and get it out. Now for the black wire, right here, you just have to lift up. Right there. You lift up and pull. And that's it. You're done with that. Now you're on to this part. So the next step after getting the airbag out of the way is this clip, which I ended up cutting myself using a screwdriver, and here, this clip. This clip's easy, you just squeeze and it comes out very easily. This one, I have it out, I'm cheating right here, but what you use is just use a screwdriver, something that'll reach in between here that can pinch and push in. Once it pushes in, it pulls right out. Then the next step will be to take the steering wheel off. Now the next step will be a 10mm hex socket. Had to go borrow this off of a friend, Keith. Shout out to him, because he's always saving me, because he has all the snap-on tools. I don't have snap-on tools, just have whatever tools are laying around. Anyway, he saved me on this one. So you need the 10 mil hex socket. It'll go right in here. See, securely, and then just use your brake bar and that will loosen up and the steering wheel should come off. So once you take that bolt out, you pull the steering wheel out gently, and then you're able to pull out this bracket. Right here. There's nothing attached to it, it's just once you take that bolt out, this pulls out. Put that to the side, because you will need it in your new steering wheel. Then the next thing will be a T20 Torx screwdriver or bit, and you'll be loosening these two spots. That's going to be for the back shifters. So we'll move on to that. We'll loosen that up, and then we'll move on to the next step. Now we're at the step where we're going to take out this screw and this screw with the T20 Torx bit screwdriver or socket. And the reasoning for this is to take the paddle shifters off. Now I'm going with CCH Customs. It's just an OEM shifter, painted in the color that you would like. I had this sent to me, the Go Mango color. Yeah, that's going to look nice with the new steering wheel. That is, for this step, if you were going with the paddle shifters, this is the point where you would be installing those instead of the ones that you have. So, you, like I said, you will use the T20 Torx screwdriver. Loosen that out, take those screws out. Then you're going to flip over the steering wheel. I have one off already. Right here, there's a cap, a cover right here. What you're going to do is, you just take a screwdriver and flick it. It flew across the garage. But yeah, that loosens up, and then you're just going to go in there with your Torx drill bit, the 20, like I said. You're going to loosen that one, and you're going to loosen that one. Then that's going to come out. Okay, now that we have the two screws out here, this will lift up, pull these to the side. They're still attached by the wires. What we're doing now is we're going to use a T20 Torx screwdriver here to loosen this. What that's going to do is be able to get this panel off so you can transfer it to the new steering wheel. So I'll do that right now. Keep your screws. You'll need them. Now flip it over. And now these will be loose. You'll be able to pull these out. And we'll move on to the next step where we're going to have to unclip all the wires. Okay, now that we have the 4 screws out for the shifter paddle and the front controls, they will just come right off. What you have to do is you have to pop the little click here for your wiring. See how that just pops? Take that out, put it to the side, move on to the other one. It's the same idea. Right there. You just push and it'll unclip. You just want to be light on it so you don't snap it. Now your shifter on the other side, it's the black wires. It's the same idea. You push here and it should pop out. Yep. There. Then you can just pull it through. Pull it right through this hole and save it, put it to the side for your new steering wheel. That's 3. Now the 4th one, it's hard to see here, it's dark. But you push on this little clip here and it should just pop out. Takes 2 hands. There it is. And there you go, you just thread it through and you have the components out of your old steering wheel. And we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now we're going to unclip this piece off. I lifted already. You just take a screwdriver, pop it up, and you pull. It pops off. I did it already because I just wanted to show you. See how these little clips pop in there? So it just pops off. Put that to the side. You're gonna want to take off these wires here. These are just squeeze right there. Right on this side, you just squeeze and it unpops or unclips. Lift up there. This one looks different. Totally different. Oh, stop. Okay, we're back. I was having troubles with this, as you could see. Every other one, there's like a push pin or something. I thought it was a push pin here. I thought maybe on the other side. I could not get to it. I finally just put my screwdriver in between here, squeezed, and it finally came out. I can't explain any more than that. Good luck on that one. Okay, so the next step is all your wiring here. What you're going to have to do is take out these 3 screws with your T20. I'll do that right now. If I could get in there. Now what we're doing here with all this has to do with the heated steering wheel. Now with the new carbon fiber steering wheels, you can't have the heated option for it, but from what I understand, this still has to come out, all this wiring, and be placed into the new steering wheel. It's all attached. There it goes. That loosened up. That loosens up there. That one is still tight. Well, for the heated steering wheel part that you don't use, this would be the kind of cause problems. There we go. So you have all that out. That's going to be going into your new steering wheel. Okay, we're at the part where we have the new steering wheel. We have all the parts out. Now we're going to be installing them. The first part is going to be from the last part that we took off of the old steering wheel, the 3 screws here. Before you put this plastic piece in, remember to tuck your wire harness back in there underneath, and then just tighten your 3 screws. Okay, so now the first step that you have to do is get the paddle shifter wire ran through the steering wheel hole where it originally was on the other one. It's going to be like this after. The reason why I have this wire tucked in now is because I have this side done, but I had to put it together and then take it all apart because I didn't run this wire through here first. Make sure you have the right paddle shifter on the right side first before you start this process, or you'll be doing like me also, taking it apart and switching it over. So what you do is what I said, you line that wire through there, then you take your controls, you're going to place it up on it. Now see this wire here? Right here, you're gonna want to have it on this side of it whenever you screw it in to this spot, because the wire runs along it. See, on this side's completed. I have it on the opposite side of that because it goes in behind, it won't be in the way. And then you just clip it into the clip that you originally clipped in on the your original steering wheel. See how the wire is lined up there? So I'm going to go ahead and put the screws in and install this in there. So now I have this screw in here and I have the wire tucked on that side of it. This will still be loose. You have to flip it over. Now you see here, this is the step. This step, you're going to be putting a screw through here. It's going to be going into this one. This is the first screw you have to start on. That's going to tighten the instrument panel on the opposite side. Then you're going to feed this like this, and pull that wire underneath through, and it's going to stay snug, and you'll have it correctly just like that on that side. I just have to put the plastic piece in here, and that'll be covered up, and that's done. So now we have it all put back together. We have our paddle switch, and this, the wire here is reconnected over here. Same on this side. It's tucked in and plugged in these 2 wires, the 4 wires here. Now, you have these long wires right here. This is from the heated steering wheel. I just tied them together right now because this is going to be tucked somewhere where you can put the airbag back in, and it's going to be hidden underneath because we won't be using the heated steering wheel on this carbon fiber steering wheel. And pretty well, you have your 3 other set of wires that are going to be attached whenever you get back in the car and you hook that up. The other thing I'm figuring out is these. The blue we won't have to use, but the red and black we will. That's to power this part of the steering wheel, the LED. So the red and black, I will be going ahead and showing you that. So now we're at the point where we bring the steering wheel all ready to go. Bring it to the car. You'll have your 2 wires that you disconnected earlier. Just feed them through that slot, through the hole, and then you're going to line up your steering wheel, and you're going to put, your center bolt back in. I would thread it in slowly by hand first, and then tighten it. Now that I have this piece in, and then I put the bolt in and tighten down to 63 pounds of torque, you can move on to the wiring. Alright, we have the ground wire attached with that splice piece that I'm talking about. There's going to be, I count here, 5 wires. You have your 2 that you had to tuck through the steering wheel, that's for the airbag. This one little wire, the black, that's all going to the airbag. You have 2 other wires, one with the white clip. That is going to fit right back in there where you took it out from the original steering wheel. The second one is my mixture here. It's just one, it's the red and black one, the one that we dealt with and had to put the splices on for the red and black power wire. It's not going to be a nuisance in the way. I thought maybe it would. That is going to click right into here. Once those 2 are in, then we'll move on to the airbag with those 3 plugs plugging in. And there we go. I have those 2 clipped in there. That one clipped in there easily, and that one clipped in there easily. Now you just have these 3 wires to deal with. I now have the airbag with me. It's right here. Your 3 wires, the blue one, the yellow one, and your black one, is going to connect, self-explanatory here, blue to the blue, yellow to the yellow. And your black one, you see it right here. You're going to clip that in there. And here we go. I have them plugged in. Whenever you push it in, this you end up pushing down and it locks it in. Just make sure they're on the upright position whenever you plug it in, and that'll clip it in for both. And then the black, well, that just clips right in. And there's your airbag sitting to the side. What you would do next is push it, line it up, and then push it in where those springs, the annoying springs that I'm talking about, you gotta give it a good push, but it's gonna pop in. I'm not going to do that right away because I want to test the LED display first, and we're going to have to move on to hooking up the smart box. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is, looks scary, but it really isn't. All you're going to have to do is hook this into this. I'll try to do it as I'm doing the video there. It'll click right in. That's going to have to be concealed somewhere under your dash. Now, this is what's going to hook up to your computer of your car. It is, let's get the angle just to give you an idea where the perspective is. That is right up. Let's get you some lighting. There we go. That is right there. It's just where your left foot goes. Right above the on and off emergency brake. You'll see it there. Now what you're going to do is there's 2 of these. They were nice to give 2 because one plugs into that and the other one just hangs out. So whenever, if you have to do diagnostic testing or connect something to that, you're able to in the future. So this is actually, it looks scary, but it's really not. It's just plug this in and place this somewhere. This wire, from what I understand, does not need to be used on the Challenger. It's for the horn. So I'm going to move on to connecting. Now that you have it all connected and the center bolt tightened, you go to the back and connect your battery. Now that you know that it's all functioning properly, it's time to put away the LED steering wheel smart box, it's called. There's just 2 Christmas tree pins you can pull out with this tool. They just pop out, and then you have lots of room under here to tuck it in. Just have it somewhere where it doesn't rattle. That can be hidden, it's Bluetooth. Then you just put your 2 Christmas trees in, tuck it back in, and that'll be concealed.